has that serious look. Ali definitely talking to him. Look at the stare on George Foreman. Foreman dances now. Moves Ali with a right hand lead again. Ali is definitely headhunting with his right hand lead. A good right hand. The wild left hand is not scoring. Not getting through. Left jab right in the button. Thrown by Ali. Another left jab.
Foreman continues to come in on Ali. He wants Ali bad. It's just a matter of trying to set him up to deliver the real heavy blow. Foreman tries to throw some punches. Definitely showing some fatigue in the waning seconds in round 7.
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's a combination.
It was a fair fight. I lost the fight fair and square.
Decision?
No, he knocked me out. You know, I had him beat. I really did. And really thought I had him beat up in the body, had him tired. And about the 7th round, he asked me, "That all you got, George?" And that was like a nightmare. Because that was
in other words, you're
had.
hitting him as hard as you can, and he says, "Is that all you got?"
And it was a nightmare because that was all I had.
But that's kind of was Ali's brilliance, right? That he could...
That
he probably didn't feel that. He probably was hurt.
Oh, yeah. I heard him a few times and almost finished him. But after one round, it was like, he looked at me and I made it. And I thought he made it. Whew. But I hit him with everything I had for so many rounds. He didn't go down and didn't have any other second plan. I didn't have a second plan. It was like, get him, get him, get him, or nothing.
Did he hurt you?
No, I never was hurt. I just got tired.
Had a busy day? My lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine is great to come home to. It lets you prepare hot, delicious meals in just minutes.
The Sears exclusive extra-large George Foreman grill has a variable temperature control that lets you adjust for the perfect cooking temperature.
My extra-large grill with temperature control is only available from Sears, and it's a knockout.
Dinner's ready, George.
I'm so proud of it, I put my name on it. And because it's from Sears, you know your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back.
Somebody big just died. Boxing legend George Foreman is dead at 76 years old. And my friend Mike North is here to do his eulogy. Mike North, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Joe. It's good to see you again. Good to see everybody else. Everybody's looking good out there. A lot better than George is looking right now. A shocker, if you will. But we got some business before we get to pleasure. We'll find out what the cause of death was with Joe in a minute. But, you can't do what we do without doing things, without having the wherewithal to do those things. That's right. Cumberland Chapels, ladies and gentlemen. A block long. Chapels. Parking lot, vestibule, flowers, hearses. Just a beautiful place, serving families for decades. And the Lupos, the Martinos, there are the recent services. How's that, folks? Wonderful people, all missed. And you know what? You want to go through the process of having these people taken care of, and no better place than Cumberland Chapels. What appropriate place to do. Somebody big just died. Today we're doing George Foreman. And without Cumberland Chapels, we couldn't do it at 83 West Lawrence Avenue, right out there in Norwich. So thank you so much to those great folks. And then, maybe, if you're out in the town, I might be going there in a day or two. In fact, I might go there tomorrow. Who knows? Pennyville Station, ladies and gentlemen. 112 Main Street. That's right. It's already 6 years old. Very successful. Got hit during COVID, if you remember, 218, 219, 220. They battled through that. They ended up having, it ended up being bigger and better than ever. Tino Antonacci, there it is. 112 North Main. You take the train to Park Ridge, the station there. You get out, you right run into the Three Stooges there. Who knows? That's the place. 112 Main Street, Park Ridge. Illinois. Joe, cause of death for Mr. George Foreman. We have anything yet?
Well, his brother came out and said that the cause is still unknown. He put out a little bit of a statement. His brother said, "Our hearts are broken with a profound sorrow. We announce the passing of our beloved George Edward Foreman Sr., who peacefully departed on March 21st, 2025, surrounded by loved ones, a devout preacher, devoted husband, a loving father, and a proud great-grandfather. He lived a life marked by unwavering faith, humility, and purpose." So still no cause of death as of right now.
Well,
But relatively young for a guy of his stature.
Yeah, 76. I mean, you're taking a chance from 70 on. That's what I always say. I mean, nothing's guaranteed. You're being seen people. I mean, we still haven't solved the Gene Hackman situation yet. Now we're hearing he was followed by a couple days by some guy. This all could be nonsense. Who knows?
Weird, crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is strange, but we still haven't solved that. We lost Joe Frazier, another great heavyweight. We had fun with Joe. The thing about when you're my age, you saw these guys. That's why I try to tell the younger people in radio and TV. You're going to tell me about Jordan, okay? And then tell me LeBron's better. When I saw both. Well, that same thing goes for boxing. I love boxing. John Suntress was a good friend, big boxing guy. And you're right, Keith. Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Ray, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran. But don't forget, Jerry Quarry was like the fifth. He was a contending heavyweight. He would be today a heavyweight champ. I mean, that was the era.
Without a doubt.
You had Ken Norton back then. Leon Spinks beat Ali. I mean, they were serious, all these guys. They were out to kill each other. You had Jerry Cooney. Jerry Cooney was one of my favorite boxers ever, the Great White Hope. He won 13 with Holmes, who, in my opinion, is one of the top 10 heavyweights of all time. He had a killer jab, 6'5". I used to go to the fights. I've been to New York. I saw Durand. I saw Sweet Pea Whitaker fight. I've seen Oscar De La Hoya fight. The heavyweight fights I've seen on TV more. But a good friend of mine, Evander Holyfield, one of the greats, two-time champion. But George Foreman was a surly guy in his 20s. Okay? And we'll get to that and everything more. But I got to tell you, he was born January 10th, 1949 in Marshall, Texas. He dies on March 21st at the age of 76. It's amazing. Nobody knows what these people die from anymore. He was one of the baddest guys on the planet. He was a Sonny Liston type. If you were only taller and badder, maybe not meaner. Joe Louis with Ron Lyle on the left, George Foreman on the right. There's Foreman making fast change to somebody there. Ali, when he knocked him on his rear end. There's the fight I was talking to Joe about. Foreman fought Frazier. Frazier went 2 rounds, was knocked down 3 times in the first, 3 times in the second. He was knocked off his feet on the last shot. And George Foreman wasn't a great boxer. George Foreman, and that's why he lost to Ali. Styles win fights. Ali knew get away from the haymakers because in that fight, George Foreman loaded up. I mean, from way back here, if you look, he just loaded up. And look at Foreman there. Foreman was intense. Ali had the whole country of Africa on his side. Foreman was considered the enemy. When he couldn't put him down early, and look at, I mean, he's just going. I thought he hit him with everything. And Ali, who could take a punch, that's why he basically was punch crazy at the end. I don't know what causes Parkinson's, but about 10,000 shots to the head might. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know what day it was, but look at how tired Foreman's getting. And when you're a big guy like that and you're throwing the lumber, you have nothing left. Ali laid against the rope. Ropes did the rope-a-dope, was a much skillful boxer, had a game plan. If you heard George say to Larry King, he had no game plan. His defense was just average as a fighter. He didn't need it, and that's what put him down. But let's talk about him before that fight against Ali. And he was an Olympic champion. He had a troubled childhood. He won a gold medal in the 1968 Summer Olympics. We will show you a picture later on, or if you got, of George Foreman holding up the flag, which made him famous because in 1968, there was a lot of turmoil in America. We had Vietnam going on. We had the race riots going on. George Foreman, filled with blood on his shirt, on his jersey there, took the American flag and became an instant hero. Okay? Everything was going good for George, became a heavyweight champion, but things went downhill swiftly after he got knocked on his ass by Ali. Okay? Things went the other way. Now, he won the heavyweight title with a second-round knockout of the then undefeated Joe Frazier in 73. He defended his belt twice before he went down, suffering his first loss to Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle. Okay? He retired after a loss to Jimmy Young. You okay there, George? Are you okay there, Joe? I see you with the headphones there. You all right?
Sorry. Yeah, I had a little itch in the ears.
Low itch in the ears. It's a tough racket. It's a tough racket as you've seen over the last few days in the paper. Okay?
That's right.
Then you have him inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was 6'3". His reach was 78 inches. 78 inches.
It's a big man, Mike.
His nickname was really original. It took time. Big George. Okay? That was his nickname. And his stance was orthodox. He left himself open, if you see this. See that fight right there?
Mm-hmm.
Great guy, but hit on hard times. He was born in Marshall, Texas, with 6 siblings. He was raised by J.D. Foreman. Okay, he was in trouble. He dropped out of school at the age of 15. He was a mugger. He was a crook. At age 16, he had a change of heart and convinced his mother to sign him up for the Job Corps, so he got smart. Okay, and then he began to train as a boxer, and he also played football, and he idolized Jim Brown, but he went in to boxing. He won the 1968 Summer Olympics. He beat a guy from Poland, Romania, Italy, and the Soviet Union. One after the other, after the other, after the other.
Not too shabby.
He won his first amateur fight in 1967. He won the Golden Gloves of San Francisco in 1967. He won a decision over Otis Evans to make the U.S. boxing team for the Mexico City Olympics, of which he, of course, carried the flag back in 1968. He became a pro in 1969. He continued his march. He had some tomato cans early. Here, George, put your hands up. Do this. Just put your hands up a little bit. You know, you're swinging like this. You're swinging like this, and that left you open for Ali, you know, and you wore yourself out. I always wanted Ali to lose because everybody called him the greatest. I go, Leon Spinks beat you. Ken Norton beat you. You know, I know you're the greatest because you're flamboyant, but that's the media. Okay. I never thought he was, to me, the greatest fighter who ever lived is Jack Johnson back in the 1900s. The guy fought in front of 20,000 white people that all wanted to kill him against white opponents in Reno, Nevada. Okay. And he won.
That's true.
Right. He was probably the best. And then after that, there's a host, Dempsey and all the Tunney and all these guys. But boxing's a great sport. And I'm sorry, MMA takes up a lot of oxygen now. But in the day, there was nothing bigger than a heavyweight champion fight. Believe me.
A great fight.
It was a great fight. He was a heavyweight champion the first time. He knocked Frazier on his ass 6 times. He fought Norton, a much tougher opponent. Then he lost Ali. He got his ass kicked by Ali. He took time off. He was in financial straits. What am I going to do? I'm going to change my image. I put on weight, but now look how much bigger he is there than in 1968. He never changed from this selling the grills to when he was fighting late. Mm-hmm. In fact, he got better shape as he got older. Now, Somebody Big just died as a special show, folks. You know why? because there was hardly anything on George Foreman. You had to watch certain sports stations to get to see a lot about George Foreman. There should be a boxing channel on cable. Okay?
There should be.
There should be a boxing channel, and there isn't, and I don't know why. Because if there was, if there's a hockey channel, there should be a boxing channel. You got history, you got great fighting films and everything else. Nobody's had that idea yet. Somebody will steal it and make a fortune. Send me a 10%. Anyway.
That's right.
Foreman versus Ron Lyle was wild. Okay. They staggered each other. They knocked each other out. This was 1976. Lyle collapsed to the canvas. He remained down, giving him the victory. He fought Frazier again, beat Frazier's ass. He fought Jimmy Young. He lost. Okay. Foreman became ill in his dressing room after the bout versus Young. He was suffering from exhaustion and heat stroke and stated he had near-death experience. He spoke of being in a hellish, frightening place of nothingness and despair. That was me, my junior year of high school. All right. I mean, I've been there. Okay. And when I got drafted, and about 10 other times, when I got a DUI, been arrested a couple times, you're in despair. Okay. I didn't become a born-again Christian. I decided to go on the curved-in, wide, narrow street.
Yeah, that's right.
Forget about it. Okay, he had a bad break. Foreman became ill. After his experience, he became a born-again Christian, dedicating his life for the next decade or two to God. Okay? He made a comeback in 1987, and he fought Dwight Cowie and some other people. See, you start talking fighting, you automatically want to fight.
Yeah, put those dukes up.
You have the jab. The jab hurts. Foreman came back. His persona was cool. He fought Jerry Cooney in 90. Cooney was coming off a long period of inactivity, but was well regarded for punching power. Cooney wobbled Foreman in the first round, but Foreman landed several power punches in the second. Cooney was knocked out. Now things start happening. Foreman fights Holyfield. Okay. He was 257 pounds in that fight.
Wow.
All right. Holyfield was like 215. Okay. Foreman surprised Betty by lasting the full round, losing his challenge, but it was close. Then he fought Stewart. He wins that fight. Then the big fight comes on the comeback trail. I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about a little bit.
It's because you do.
Yeah, I'm staggered a little bit about certain things here, certain events. I don't remember everything. But 94, he comes back and he gets a fight against Michael Moore, November 5th in Las Vegas. Foreman in the red trunks, Moore 20 years younger than him. Okay. He was a substantial underdog, trailing on all the cards, going in to the 10th round. Moore hits him with a bunch of punches, decides I can slug it out with Big George. Foreman was looking as tired as you saw in the video clip earlier against Ali. Couldn't lift his arms above his waist, it seemed like, okay? And Moore hit him with punches. Then in a short right hand, Foreman caught Moore on the tip of the chin, gashing open his bottom lip, and he collapsed to the
Ouch.
How about that? He had the whole fight. He was up like 8-1. And Foreman won, regained his title. So he's the oldest to ever have a title at 45 years of age. Okay.
Wow.
He eventually retired. He came back, lost a couple fights. He kept the belt for a couple bouts. Then he became a minister. He becomes a minister as a church. By the way, his kids, he had his first 5 kids. I don't know if you know this, Joe. You know what their names were?
I don't.
George 1, George 2, George 3, George 4, George 5, and the numbers were in Roman numerals. And
wow.
He had 12 kids. 12.
That's impressive, Mike.
What, the 12 kids, or that he named George 5 straight things?
Yes.
Yes.
And he had like 5 wives, I think, or something like that.
I think he had 2 wives only, didn't he? Yeah, I think he had 2 wives. If I'm not mistaken. We don't want to make him
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope.
Oh, he did?
5.
5
Yep.
wives, 12 kids. That's a lot of alimony. He retired, and here's the cool thing. Then guess what? Now he's wondering what he's going to do. And this might be the idea of a lifetime, okay? In my opinion. The George Foreman grill.
Oh,
He came back from retirement. He argued that his success was due to the healthy eating he was. He was approached by Salton Incorporated. Somebody just walked up to him and said, "We're looking for a sports person for a fat-reducing grill." He signed on, and since that time, they've sold over 100 million units.
I mean, I think every house in America probably had one of those at one point.
Foreman never confirmed exactly how much he earned, but Salton paid him $138 million in 1999 for the right to use the name. Okay.
Jeez.
Prior to that, he was paid about 40% of the profits each year, which was great. He got about $4.5 million a month back.
I guess
then.
he did okay.
Yeah. He made much more money than he ever did as a boxer. He made $200 million as the grill guy. Okay. The guy was impressive. The guy had a record, if I'm not mistaken here, I'm looking for it right now. They don't have all the records here. He was the biggest, he was a Lennox Lewis type. He would have killed Tyson because of his height, I think, if he fought Tyson in his prime.
Yeah,
But
he's 76-5, Mike.
76-5, folks. How about that?
68 by knockout.
Oh, well, you see in the fight against Ali what he wanted to do. You see what he wanted to do. He almost did it in the 3rd round, and in the 1st round, he came out and hit him with some good shots. Yeah, he total fights 81, 68 by TKO. Unbelievable. Amateur boxing gold medal winner. Not a whole lot on him. We don't know what he died of. He didn't have a whole lot of personal stuff. Joe's been doing some digging on it. But really, seriously, as we were looking today, and you know what? It was like, see, when things happened 40 years ago, the younger people doing the stuff today, they just don't get it. They don't get it. I mean, because these guys were huge. These guys.
The second I saw Foreman died, Mike, I'm like, Dakota, George Foreman. Like, I know George Foreman. I know the grill. I think everyone in America does.
Right.
At least my age, maybe not the younger kids.
And then, right. And then you saw, I couldn't believe when I heard he died. I didn't know he was sick. So hopefully down the line, we'll find out about that. We'll find out what happened to George. He was a great guy. I had the opportunity to interview George Foreman 3-4 times on the radio. I mean, when you've been in radio 33 years, you're gonna probably get the chance to interview everybody. Good guy. I got to talk to Joe Frazier on the radio. Couldn't understand much of what he was saying. Me and Bibi met Muhammad Ali. He loved Bibi. He loved the women. You're a gorgeous woman. What was I gonna do? Huh? He's calling my wife gorgeous. What am I gonna do? Hey, what are you talking about?
Yeah, she is.
And she goes, I can't believe I met Muhammad Ali. I said, let's get in the car. Okay. I mean, I got to compete with the best. She met Joe Montana once. I thought she was going to leave me. You know what I mean? Tom Brady, I hope he never walks in, you know, but that's what sports is all about. I'm seeing my heroes go one by one. Did I do this at the right time? I don't know, man. I'm only 4 years younger than George Foreman, folks, but Mr. Mayhem, you're absolutely right. Rest in peace to George Foreman. We thank Cumberland Chapels. We thank Pennyville Station. Joe, any parting words about George Foreman before I say our final goodbyes?
Just an incredible spokesperson. This is a guy that was so well spoken. His commercials were great. He was a great fighter. Just was great on camera personality. I'll never forget the George Foreman grill commercials as a kid growing up. I never will, because they were. I had one in the open. They're just Instant
Right.
classics.
And then Dick Butkus got a grill, the former Bear linebacker, 2 years, 3 years after that. It was a small one, and you burnt paper into it, okay, or leaves, and it cooked. What ended up happening, though, is that the ink from the newspaper started getting into the meat once.
Oh.
Yes. So, I mean, but he made some money off that too. But the George Foreman grill is a earth-shattering deal. And the fact that he made 50 million dollars in his career off that alone. Good God bless him. So on behalf of Cumberland Chapels, on behalf of Pennyville Station, on behalf of Joe Mandel, on behalf of yours truly, on behalf of the Barroom, on behalf of Aldo Gandia, Vinny Parisi, Johnny Buffone, Coach Gabe, on behalf of the White Sox podcast, let me give a sign of the cross for those coming up.
Oh boy.
All right, on the Barroom Network. And Joe, are you coming back, Joe? You getting the fever?
Not at all.
All right. Smart move. Anyway, we thank you for joining us here. Yeah, George Foreman, you made the list. Somebody big. Just that. Good night.